Hey, cheers, everybody. Welcome back to Good Bets, Good Times, the football betting show built for all of my fellow D-Gens and weekend warriors who want to win a little bit more and lose a little bit less and have a good damn time doing it. I am Nate Total of NT Sports. Thank you for stopping by. And folks, college football season is here right now. It is Thursday night, August 27th, and we've got a full slate of FCS football games on at this very moment. Could I interest you in some Stony Brook, Delaware State? How about some Maine versus Towson? How about my YSU Penguins? Up 43-3 right now against Mercyhurst. Oh man, it's back. And no, I'm not an FCS guy. I'm not an FCS bettor. Not my thing. But hey, if there's college football on the TV, we're all about it. Oh, and how about Central Ohio's own Ohio Dominican right now? D2 Ohio Dominican up 14 in the fourth quarter against FCS Morehead State. Hey, Ohio teams putting it on them tonight. Love to see it. Love to see it. Hey, but today's episode, we are going to do a quick final review of our college football futures portfolio. And of course, break down the week 0 betting card. All 8 FBS versus FBS matchups. We'll talk about them all. The edges we're seeing, the bets we're making. It's going to be a good time. Everyone settle in. But first, if you're watching along on YouTube and you're digging the show, feel free to give us a like, a comment, and subscribe to catch all of the new episodes as they drop throughout the season. We'll be doing this weekly, Wednesday, mostly Wednesday, sometimes Thursday nights, depending on schedule, but we'll get those out before the Saturday games hit, both college football and NFL. And of course, if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, do us a favor, give us a follow, a rating, a review, all greatly appreciated. And so without further ado, grab your favorite beverage, kick back, and let's talk some ball.
I love guys who like football. And guys who like football, they like me back, and I like them back.
All right. Kicking off with win totals. So in Power 4, we have 5 win totals that we have locked in heading into the season. And just to recap, if you missed the episodes, we did conference by conference in the Power 4 throughout the summer. Go check those out. Most of these bets are on there. Some I made after the episode's recorded. But let's start in the ACC. We got Virginia under 8.5 wins at -175. We'll talk about them here in a second. Big game, big conference matchup this weekend against NC State. Moving over to the Big 12, Kansas State. This one I'm not as bullish on as I was earlier in the year when I placed this back in June. We recorded the Big 12 episode. But I got over 7.5 at -157. You could probably get better now. If you're on board with K-State and this schedule and them hitting 8 wins and being competitive in the Colin Klein era, go for it. You can actually get better than 157. I think it's like 145 now, over 7.5. Come aboard. And we got a couple unders in the Big 12 as well. Baylor, totally out on Baylor. Under 6.5 wins at -170. Very expensive, but ceiling for this team, maybe they could hit 6 wins and get a bowl game. But I think it's more likely that the DJ Lagway experiment does not work out. Dave Reid is fired, and another losing season for the Baylor Bears. Kansas Jayhawks under 6.5 wins as well, -170. Like this team a little bit more than I like Baylor, but still same time with the schedule and just this team coming out, losing Jalen Daniels, their quarterback last year. They just named the starter. I think today, actually, they named the starting quarterback heading into the season. But under 6.5 wins there, -170, very expensive one as well. But this is another team. Max ceiling is a bowl team, most likely. I see them around 5-7 this year. And then my favorite bet, Maryland Terrapins over 4.5 wins, -155. I think they're a bowl team. If they can get us 5 wins, I'll be stoked. But I think Maryland's getting back to a bowl game. Going to save Mike Loxley's job. Malik Washington's elite. It's going to be fun to watch that D line, although they did have a significant injury. But yeah, loving the Maryland Terrapins coming out of the Big Ten, over 4.5. And then rounding out the Power Four here, we got a couple conference championship futures. We got Texas Tech to win the Big 12, plus 100. That's one full unit there. Kansas State is a dark horse, plus 1,500, just a quarter unit on that. And then another quarter unit on TCU to win the Big 12 at plus 3,000. ACC, we got Virginia Tech as our dark horse, plus 2,800, quarter unit there. Big Ten, we have Penn State as our dark horse team, plus 2,000, 0.25, quarter unit there as well. Georgia to win the SEC, plus 1,300. That's a full unit on Georgia to win the SEC at, actually, that's plus 320. Little typo there. Plus 320 on Georgia. And then Oklahoma's plus 1,300. Half unit there on Oklahoma. Love the Sooners to build off the momentum of last year. Healthy Mateer, great defense. I see a Georgia-Oklahoma matchup in this SEC championship, and we're going to be sitting pretty with both these futures. Moving on to the group of six, we got quite a few win totals in the group of six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to be exact. Starting off with independent UConn. It's going to be a transition season. Jim Moore is heading out to Colorado State. Got Jason Candle coming in, taking over as head coach, rebuilding this team. Rough schedule, some really weird travel spots. And I got them under 5.5 at minus 124. Fresno State, a team I'm high on in the Pac-12. I got them over 6.5, and this is on DraftKings, only 11 games. I still have them projected at 7 wins. And I got this at plus money, so plus 110, which I think now it's at minus 125. So got some CLV there on the 11-game schedule, them hitting 7 wins. Navy, hate to do it, but yeah, I'm down. I'm slightly down on Navy. They're still a 7-win team, in my opinion. Just lost too much firepower on offense to bounce back and have another double-digit win season here. So under 8.5 wins, minus 158. North Texas as well, another team with massive turnover. Most of the team went to Oklahoma State, including the head coach. And we got plus money, plus 120 for them to go under 5.5 wins. Loving that. Air Force, the first bet I made this summer, over 6.5 wins at minus 160. This is up, I think it's at 7.5 in most books. I think you can get like a minus 180 now on Air Force. And still, I mean, I'd still take that, honestly. This is a big bounce back year for the Falcons off back-to-back losing seasons. Nevada over 4.5 wins, another plus money, plus 130 on this. This went down a little bit. I think it's at plus 110-ish. I think still plus money to the over, which I would still take any plus money over at 4.5 wins. Got them projected at right at 4.9, right at almost 5 wins this year. But like Nevada, Jeff Choate year 3. Hawaii under 7.5 wins. Hate to do it to the Bows, but this is a bowl team. Don't worry. Don't fear. Hawaii is going to be back in a bowl game. Probably the Hawaii Bowl once again, but we got them under 7.5 wins at minus 150. Missouri State, lost Chris Beard to Coastal Carolina, and the total rebuild here as well. Under 4.5 wins at minus 170. An expensive one, but I see major regression for Missouri State. And Miami, Ohio, over 7.5 wins, plus 130. This one's down to, I believe it's plus 110 now. But love Miami. Just so consistent in the MAC. Rarely do we see back-to-back championships in this conference. Western Michigan, they're going to be good once again. Could be destined for a rematch with Miami of Ohio, but I definitely like them getting to 8 wins. And if you're going to be plus money at plus 130, we will take it. And last but not least, another plus money over 7.5 with Marshall, plus 125. Another bet I love, Marshall out of the Sun Belt. And that's it, folks. That wraps up. We have a couple other futures that we logged over the weekend. Just a couple Heisman futures. Let me pull those up here. Just sprinkling a few bucks, few quarter unit very small unit bets on some Heisman hopefuls that I like last minute. We got Bear Bachmeier. We got Lincoln Kleinholtz, and that's 100-1 Kleinholtz there. Buckeye going over to Louisville. Jeff Brom. We'll see what they can do over there, but with that offense and Kleinholtz finally getting a shot to be the guy, worth a little long shot sprinkle. And then I believe we got Byron Brown as well out of Auburn. So curious what they can do. He was electric last year at USF. Obviously, step up in competition in the SEC, but we saw what we did against Florida last year. So those are our 3 Heisman long shots as well. And I've got Dante Moore plus 1,300 as well, which is, in my opinion, with this Oregon team, this offense, he's going to be at least a finalist. So solid bet there. That's my favorite to win the Heisman this year. Pretty obvious choice, but I'm not going Arch. I mean, I'd love to see Jeremiah Smith win it. I'd love to see Julian Sain win it, but it's going to come down to the Oregon's most likely going to be an 11-win team. They might lose one game, maybe to Ohio State. And Dante Moore's going to put up numbers this year. So he's our favorite to win the Heisman. Those are all of our futures bets in college football. The futures card is locked and loaded. We are ready to roll. And now let's dive into week 0. I've got 8 FBS versus FBS games here. If you're an FCS bettor, sorry, I got nothing for you. Nothing for you there. I don't have the time, effort, energy to model out FCS games right now. There's plenty of resources out there if you are into FCS football. Go for it. Don't blame you. But not here. We're not an FCS podcast. Apologies to all the listeners. But hey, as a reminder too, before we get into it, all of our bets are logged in the Action app at NT Sports 22, so you can follow along the bets as we place them. Most of the bets that we've made that we talked about today, we made early in the week. So if you want to catch those in real time before these lines move, follow us on the Action app. Set up alerts if you need to, but all the bets will be tracked throughout the season as we place them in between episodes. So getting into it, first and foremost, a few tips here. So it's early, it's week 0, and this goes for week 1 as well, and maybe even week 2. It's early in the season. We've spent the entire summer breaking down these teams, breaking down each conference, going over win totals, looking at the turnover, portal ads, recruiting, schedules. And we have a pretty solid baseline for who we think these teams are. But before we get too crazy, before we trust our numbers too much, we need to see these teams play some football. So tip number 1, don't get too crazy. We're still learning here. The first few weeks are learning about these teams. Are our reads on these teams correct? Are these teams gelling? Are these portal ads, especially these teams with new coaches, massive transfer portal additions? I mean, we just got to take your time, look at these teams, make sure your preseason numbers, your priors are, or not your priors, but the adjustments you made in the offseason are where they need to be. Some teams are going to surprise, some teams are going to disappoint. And it's also important not to overreact too. You may see a team come out, man, a little rocky week 1, week 0, maybe even week 2. So it's important not to overreact, but also take your time. Don't blow up your bankroll in the first 2 weeks. Don't go in on a couple dozen bets in these first couple weeks, even though you think you have reads on teams, you feel good about it, got good numbers. Just set your expectations a little bit lower. All right, just have some fun. The goal is longevity here, right? We want to be in the game all season long. Also, next thing, if you're a weekend warrior, and we always talk about having lots of different sports books to make sure that you can get the best of every single number that you can find. This is the time of year where sports books, football starting up, they're going to offer some pretty decent promos. We took advantage of a couple extra promo boosts as well on FanDuel and DraftKings. Obviously, can't bet a whole lot with those boosts. They limit them pretty well, but hey, for some fun bets, some bets that, normally I really only have one legitimate model-based play for this weekend so far. But I put a couple other fun bets in there, just using some promos and getting some better numbers, better prices than I would normally get. Hey, why not? Search your sports books. Make sure you're taking advantage of every promo you can possibly get over these first few weeks of the season. If you haven't downloaded sports books, there's new ones that you don't even have access to yet. Definitely download those, get access, take advantage of the deposit bonuses whenever you can. It's free money out there across these sports books when you first sign up. So take advantage, do what you can, have as many options as you can when you're searching for numbers. And another thing too, keep in mind, week 0, week 1, these numbers have been out for a long time. They've been moving all throughout the summer. The Sharks have been getting down on them. And at this point, there's not much edge left to be found, as we'll talk about here in a second. I always take my time going into the season, as we talked about. So one number I did find that I really like. There's a couple other ones that they're getting there. They're sneaking. They're sneaking up. They're moving a lot, and we may have to buy back the other way at some point. But keep in mind too, there's not going to be a ton of edge to be found, which is why we have one bet for week 0. We have 2 other fun bets that we'll talk about. So technically we have three bets, 1 full 2-unit play, which is a model-based bet. And hey, it doesn't mean you have to sit out this weekend. Pick a couple spots, shop around, take advantage of some promos, have some fun. College football's back, right? We're about good times here. We're not going to sit out the entire weekend just because we don't have the exact edge that we want on some of these games. Like, pick a couple spots, all right? Have some fun. And, or just lower your unit size too. Like I said, bankroll management's key. First couple of weeks or so filling out the teams. Like typically, I'm going to bet the same unit amount throughout the entire season on all of my model-based, positive EV, edge-based plays. And for fun bets and things that I just want to get down on, maybe I don't have a lot of edge this weekend. I want to get down on a few extra plays just for fun, just for some entertainment. I'm probably going to go half unit, maybe even less. It's more of a plus money, maybe even a little parlay every now and then. Who knows? Just have some fun. All right. Bankroll is key. Half a unit size if you need to. Shop around. Don't get too crazy, but hey, football's back. Enjoy it. We've waited, 6 long months for this since January. So let's make it happen. It's a good time this weekend. Cheers to that. First up on the board, 12 Eastern this Saturday at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. The Aer Lingus College Football Classic. Back overseas in Dublin. We got North Carolina versus TCU. Current number right now at this very moment is, we got some 9.5s over there. We got +9, or best number for North Carolina is a +8.5. So +9.5s at -110. Actually, a +1.5 at -109. It's getting there. This numbers went up from, I believe it opened around 6.5, 7. Sat at 7.5 for quite a while. And this week it's getting blasted. It's up to 9.5 in most shops. You can get a 9.5 at +103 at ProfitX right now. You can get a +8.5 on North Carolina at -102 at Novig right now. Most of the recreational shops are sitting at 9.5, 110 each way. And our current projection right now is TCU -8.5. So it's right in the middle. Like, not enough for me to get on it when it was TCU 7.5. Definitely not now. But now we're looking the other way. We're looking to potentially and buy this back on North Carolina. I want to see where this goes. Could this hit 10? I doubt it. I highly doubt they're going to hang some 10s out there, but we're watching very closely. If we get a 10 at a decent price 10, I'm talking like a minus 110, maybe minus 115 on North Carolina plus 10, we're going to take it. Because I don't agree this is going to be a TCU double-digit win. Yeah, so maybe we will take the 9.5 at a good price. Best right now is minus Circa. If you have access to Circa, they're minus 105. That's not bad. That's showing me about a 1.2% edge on North Carolina. So here's how we're breaking this down here. This is a rematch from last year. TCU took it to North Carolina in the first ever game in the Bill Belichick era and just laid it on them 48-14. Game was not close. But these are two different teams this year. For one, TCU's breaking in a new offensive coordinator. Gordon Samuels from UConn. We know how much we like TCU this year to be a dark horse in the Big 12. But I feel like it's going to take a few games. Jaden Craig comes in, Harvard transfer. Broke a ton of records at Harvard, passing records. Pro prospect. Going to be running this more of a pro-style offense, little switch up from the offense at the pass under Kendall Briles at TCU. Maybe not quite as fast-paced, maybe more running the ball. So it's going to me, it's going to take some time for Jaden Craig to get his feet wet, make that transition from FCS over to FBS. And now his first game is in Dublin, Ireland. Always get some funky weather over there. They're playing against a North Carolina team where Bill Belichick has had an entire offseason to prepare for this game. And after what happened last year, I mean, say what you want about Belichick and this Tar Heels team. I know people are very down on Bill, expect him to get fired and only last maybe through this season. But this is still one of the greatest coaches of all time. You don't think he's thinking about how bad they got beat last year against TCU? He hasn't been stewing over this all summer, scheming up some defense to go against this quarterback, good quarterback, really good quarterback, but making his first FBS start, a little step up in talent. I don't know. I think this could be a lot closer than expected. And from the North Carolina side, one underrated hire, I feel like, Bobby Petrino coming in as the offensive coordinator. And then also bringing in Billy Edwards, very experienced, like 10 years in college football now, Maryland to Wisconsin. He was injured most of the year last year, but had a pretty decent seasons at Maryland before he transferred. Yeah, he can play. Very experienced guy. And I think this offense can hang, can keep this game close. Steve Belichick is out on medical leave. He's not making the trip to Dublin. But with that being said, they've known this for a while. And this Belichick defense is going to be ready. Petrino and Edwards can put up some competent offense compared to what we saw last year. And it's going to be a close game. Like right now, I'm off of it on the spread at least. I feel like I said, we have this game at minus 8.5. You missed the boat on TCU. I cannot in any way see this being a double-digit win. I think it's probably going to be around a touchdown. If TCU pulls it off, could be closer. We see some crazy things happen in Dublin. Let's be honest. So we are on the under, though. And the only reason I bet the under, like right now, the under's got pushed down from 49.5 at the open down to, it's at 46.5, 47 at most books. I mean, this thing got really hammered down. So we got the 49.5, but we did use, it's just a fun bet, not one that I don't bet totals. If you listen to this podcast, you know I'm not a totals bettor. I will get down on totals from time to time just for fun, or if I feel like I really got a good feeling on a spot. And it's going to be a half unit play. And we threw down, took advantage of a little profit boost there. So We're looking at the under 49.5. We got that at plus money just due to the profit boost. But right now, at anything under 47.5, stay away on this total. Maybe it'll come back up by Saturday. You can get down on it, but that's the way I would look. Another ugly Dublin game. And lean North Carolina at 8.5 or better. TCU at 7.5 or better. Or under at the 47.5 or better. And we got this at under 49.5. Next up, San Jose State at USC, 3 p.m. Eastern, LA Coliseum. This one's on NBC. And this one, another one, gets gotten pushed up. I think we're all the way up. Yeah, we're back to 38.5. It hit 39.5 for a while. There's still some 39.5s out there. But I think a couple books have came back down. There's still, you can get a 38.5 at minus 115. 38.5 at Novig at minus 102. And we project this game at 39.3. Yeah, so slightly. If you can get 38.5, it's a USC play. This thing starts pushing towards 40. We might have to look back, but either way, it's a stay away from me. It's USC or nothing at this point. And the reason for that, man, you know Lincoln Riley. He doesn't take the foot off the gas. He's going to be scoring to the end of this game. This is a blowout. San Jose State's down. They're not going to be competitive in this game. It's just going to depend on how many points USC wants to score and if San Jose State can get a couple scores as well to potentially cover this number. But I'm looking at USC scoring 50 plus, and it would also lean towards the over. But at the same time, you got to bet on San Jose State actually scoring as well, which they could. USC's defense is a little vulnerable, breaking in a new defense under Gary Patterson. So we do lean USC. I wouldn't even consider San Jose State unless this game got above 40. And Lincoln Riley as a 4-1 as a home non-con favorite of 30 plus. Also 4-1 to the over in those games. So he lays it on them. The only time he didn't cover was actually San Jose State in 2023. That was prior to the Coach Ken era. And they only won by 28 as a 31-point favorite. So San Jose State was a little bit better in that season. And they're going to be this year. So not a lot to talk about in this game, honestly. This is a blowout written all over it. A down San Jose State team against a surging USC team who has a coach who likes to continue to play ball and score throughout the entire 60 minutes. Even if the backups come in, they're going to be throwing the ball. They're going to be pushing the ball down the field, getting reps. So, yeah, stay away here. As I mentioned, if you want to bet this one, take USC at 38.5 or better, or anything under 40. Anything under 40. If you want to get down on this, go for it on USC. Anything above 40, if you're feeling it, go for San Jose State. But I would not feel comfortable. This could be 55-3. Hell, they could put up 60 on this defense. So stay away, look over, maybe even a USC team total over if you can get that under 50. I think it was like 49.5. Would prefer a 49 or better, but under 50, I think USC puts up 50 at least in this game. So team total over USC is also in play if you want to get down on this game. Moving on, a game we do have an official bet in, the one and only, and that is NC State at Virginia. We got this at plus 5.5. NC State getting plus 5.5, plus 102 at Novig. I'll take the plus money there, especially how this line has moved, which at Novig now where we bet it, it's down 2 full points. Best available is plus 3.5, plus 104. There's 4.5 still sitting out there. Look at a Pinnacle, it's 3.5, minus 117, jumps up to Virginia now. We make this game 3.5. Virginia 3.5. So at this point, it's right at the number. No bet either way, unless this goes back up to above 4.5. I could make an argument. I could say if you do want to get down on this, anything 3 or better, or even money line, go Virginia. Anything above 4.5 or better, it's NC State at decent juice. So got some good CLV here on this one. And really, we got this down right before the injury reports came out. And Virginia has a little over a dozen players out in this game compared to NC State. And to be honest, I mean, the handicap here is look, you look at these rosters, you look at the depth, look at these two teams in the trenches. Advantage is Virginia. They should win this game, no doubt about it. But I do like this NC State team. Got Dave Dorn, experienced coach, year 14 at NC State. Off an 8-5 season. The Wolfpack's won 4 straight in this series. They haven't lost in Charlottesville since 2006. Dave Dorn's 2-0 versus Tony Elliott, 4-0 versus Virginia overall. Last year won 35-31 as 2.5-point favorites at home. CJ Bailey's back. He put up good numbers in this game last year. As good as Virginia was, 11-3 team. Threw for 200 in a TD, ran for 44 in 2 TDs, and no turnovers. Granted, that wasn't home. Offensive line's experience going to be okay against this Virginia defensive line. We know Virginia's a team we're already down on. We're already on the under 8.5. Do not believe they can replicate that season they had last year, getting to 11 wins. It's going to be a good team. I think Tony Elliott really turned a corner with this team. They've got money coming in this program. Virginia's going to be around. They're not going anywhere. But you're going to give me over a field goal, plus 5.5, plus 4.5. ACC conference game early in the year. A game that really could impact this championship race later in the season. NC State, a very popular dark horse team coming out of the ACC. I see them at 7-8 wins this year. I see Virginia also at 7-8 wins this year. I think these are two very, very comparable competitive teams. If you look at pure talent roster, Virginia's going to have the edge. But you give me Dave Dorn, you give me CJ Bailey, you give me an offseason to prepare for this game. And worst case, give me Virginia by a field goal. And what's going to be an excellent game. Official bet there, NC State plus 5.5 at plus 102. Next up, probably my favorite game of the weekend here. Jacksonville State against North Dakota State. The Bison making their debut in FBS. Just a juggernaut at the FCS level. Unless you've been sleeping under a rock like I'm not an FCS guy. And even I know North Dakota State has just been a juggernaut the past 10, 15 years in FCS. Finally get the call up. Move up to FBS. And this game opened around 10. It got bought down pretty quick, sat at 8.5, 7.5 for quite a while, dipped all the way down below 7, down to 6.5 at a lot of places. I think I see just the best number right now is a 6.5 at minus 114. We're getting there, folks. If I get a good number in this minus 6.5, I'm gonna have to fire. Minus 114 is close. I'd rather get just a regular minus 110 on this. Because anything at 7 or better, I am leaning North Dakota State. Got this predicted out at 7.8. So totally understand why. Actually, I got it predicted at 8 to be exact. Totally understand why this game was bet down. I mean, 10 obviously too high. But under a touchdown here, man, the Fargo Dome is going to be rocking. This is the FBS opener for North Dakota State. This is a juggernaut team. They got to play Conference USA runner-up last year, a team that's off back-to-back 9-win seasons. You got Caden Creel coming back. Guy for rushed for 1,000 yards, threw for 1,500. Solid offense. Did lose Cam Cook to West Virginia, so curious to see who's going to take over in the running game. Charles Kelly entering his second year here, taking over for Rich Rod. They got elite 6'8" receiver DeAndre Johnson on the outside, going against this North Dakota State secondary. But also, Jacksonville State, not a good road team. This is a 9-win team last year, and they were 0-4 last season as an underdog on the road, straight up. 1-3 against the spread. And 2-5 ATS overall on the road last year. So did not play very well away from home, as good as they were. And as good as they're going to be this year. Also, again, Conference USA title contender. And, hey, North Dakota State's no stranger to playing power conference teams. They beat Kansas. They beat Kansas State, Iowa State, Minnesota. So they can play with the big boys. They've proved it in the past. These teams haven't played since 2016. It's like Carson Wentz led North Dakota State Bison won 37-10 in the FCS National Championship. And for me, this comes down to, it's hard to get a read. I see what my numbers say. About a 7-point advantage on power rankings alone. You throw in the home field factor in the Fargo Dome. This place is going to be electric. It's going to be a fun game to watch. This isn't the North Dakota State team from last year. They did lose a little bit, including their quarterback, who's in the NFL now, Cole Payton. Do have experience in the offensive line, but how's that talent going to translate over? Do I think they win the game? Absolutely. Am I super confident about the spread and Jacksonville State being able to put up a fight and keep this game under a touchdown? No. So stay away from me. I will say, though, if I get a good 6.5, I'm going to have to play it. I could see North Dakota State win this game by a touchdown. But as of right now, banger of a game. Going to love watching this. But, we're gonna stay away. Stay away at 7 or better. Next up, Sac State in a classic Mid-American Conference matchup. They go out to the Ypsilanti to play Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan right now is up to 9.5. And most books now, sitting pretty comfortably at 9.5 right across the board. Oh, did a 10.5 popped up at FanDuel. This is another one where I want no part of this game. Sacramento State is not going to be a good team this year. Got first-year head coach Alonzo Carter, QB Carson Conklin, who former Sac State, went to Fresno State, back to Sac State. And this is a tough travel spot, although I don't think it's that big of a deal first game of the year because they do have extra time. You're not playing a game, then having to travel out to Ypsilanti in the same week to play another game. So they do have some time to get out there, get settled. This is a 6:30 start too, so 3:30 Pacific. Not terrible. But Eastern's a team that we talked about in the G6 preview, who I do like the continuity here at Chris Creighton in his 13th year. Noah Kim comes back at quarterback. Could be one of the top quarterbacks in this conference this year. But do I trust Eastern Michigan to win this game by double digits? Absolutely not. No, thank you. I will say, though, one fun stat. Chris Creighton's 8-0 as a home favorite of more than a touchdown in his tenure at Eastern Michigan. Doesn't happen that often in the past 13 years. But absolutely confident Eastern Michigan's going to win this game. Will be a great parlay piece if you want to toss it in with somebody else. But no idea what to expect from either one of these teams in this game. It's going to be, like I said, a classic Maction, just who knows? High variance, gonna be could be fun in like a sick way. But we project this at 9.3, Eastern Michigan 9.3. So if you got Michigan early on, this game was, I mean, you could have got this at like 6.5, under 7 at some point. But at this point, yeah, if you're feeling crazy, snag a 10.5 if another one pops up on Sac State. But yeah, moving on. Not much else to say about Sacramento State, Eastern Michigan. Hawaii, Stanford. Whew, this is one. We got Stanford money line here. This is just, Stanford's just this is going to be the better team. Better players, better in the trenches. At quarterback, I don't know. Hawaii got Mike Alejado coming back. Can he stay healthy? Threw for 3,100 yards and 24 TDs last year. Injured most of the season. Still played through it. Lost some production at wide receiver. Lost a lot of production on defense. And it's a 9-4 team last year, but they're going to be down. We have them under 7.5 wins. Do you like Hawaii to be a bowl team this year? But they got to go on the road. I got this projected up at Stanford. And the spread at Stanford 4.1. And it's another one where we just, not an official bet. We wanted to have a little fun money on this one. We do like Stanford to win this game outright. Didn't like the spread. And this number's come back down. It got up to 5.5. Earlier this week when I was prepping this, it was Stanford 5.5. I did like Hawaii if you can get it at 6 or better. 5.5 or better, I would lean towards Stanford. And definitely at the 3.5 would lean towards Stanford if you can get a good number here. What is this sitting at the moment? Let's see what the juice is on those 3.5s. It could be worth no 4.5. 4.5 is the bet. I mean, 3.5 is minus 120. Yeah, it's just kind of come back up a little bit. There's a 3.5 minus 116 out there as well. So 4.5 plus 100 at Fanatics is the best number I'm seeing on Stanford. Not bad, but we got the money line at minus 122. Just boosted it up from a minus 170 something over at FanDuel, which they're up to minus 194 now. So even the money line's kind of getting pushed up here. It's minus 187 at Pinnacle, 195 at Circa. So the money line as is, not a bet I would make. If you do want to bet this game, like I said, at good juice, I would lean Stanford. Anything under the 5.5, 6 or better, we'll probably get into Hawaii territory there. But a couple of things to look at, man. This is got Andrew Luck coming in. Running the program as GM. He's heavily involved, what we're hearing. Davida Pritchard is going to be his first game as a head coach. So you got Davis Warren is the QB1 here. Transfer from Michigan. Didn't play at all last season. Or 4-8 last year. You got running back Micah Ford back. Ran for 113 and a touchdown last year against Hawaii. This is the rematch. This game Stanford should have won. They blew it at the end. Hawaii got a couple field goals from the Tokyo Toe, who also, the big factor is why I'm not betting Hawaii. He is gone. Special teams will be down for Hawaii as well. Stanford does have a look ahead against Miami next week, but that's not going to be a factor, in my opinion. And Timmy Chang, let's look at the record here on the road. As head coach of Hawaii, on the road, straight up, he's 4-18. 9-13 against the spread. And in the non-con, as a road dog, he's 0-7. Has not won a game in the non-conference on the road as the coach of Hawaii. 205 ATS, losing by an average of 28 points per game. Granted, some of those are against much better Power 4 opponents, but if you look at the matchups here, outside of quarterback and maybe wide receiver, Stanford's got the edge in just about every position group. So Stanford money line, Love it. Just one unit there. Boost it up. Minus 122. That's our third and final bet for the weekend so far. Next up, another one that I'm absolutely not interested in. If you could have got Florida State, this is Florida State, New Mexico. This is a 7 p.m. game Saturday night in Tallahassee. Got to watch this one on the CW if you're interested in checking this game out. Spread right now, last I checked, let me see where we are right now. It was 31.5. There's some 30.5s popping back up here. So at 31 or better, I would lean Florida State. Anything above 31.5, 32 would have to lean New Mexico State, but I don't really have an edge either way. I do feel like this is one of those games where Mike Norvell is going to have to run it up. He's going to want to run it up. He's got Ashton Daniels coming in, starting quarterback. And going to want to break in this offense. Norvell's got a lot to prove this year in his 7th year. 100% in the hot seat. If Florida State could afford to fire him, I'm sure they would have done it last year. But if Norvell has a chance to put up some points, some style points, he's going to do it. So it's not one I want to bet. My numbers say, like I said, at 31.5 would lean, project it right at 31. But yeah, this is going to be blowout Florida State. How much? I don't know. I will say Tony Sanchez is in his 3rd year at New Mexico State, but he's played 2 of these bye games where they get paid a ton of money to go play at these big Power 4 schools. He's covered both of them. 39-point dog 2024 against A&M. Covered that number. Last year, 41.5-point dog against Tennessee. Covered that number. So, hey, maybe this team will come in and put up a fight. But this one's only 30.5, 31. They did lose both those games by like 35. So, I mean, we will see. But, hey, it's not a game that I want to get behind at all. Would lean Florida State just in a blowout, winning by 40+. This is just a paycheck game for New Mexico State, getting $1.4 million to make this trip to Tallahassee. So, yeah, ugly one. Stay away. Moving on. Last but not least, Memphis UNLV. This one is down. It was up at minus 5.5 when I was prepping. I did like Memphis plus 5.5 at plus 100. We are all the way down to the best you can get on Memphis right now. Is there's some 4.5s juiced up. Minus 114, minus 115, minus 111. You got a 4 at minus 105, which is not too bad. And then if you like UNLV, you can get them at 3.5 at minus 115, 4.5 plus 103. We got this projected out at 3.5. So once again, right at the number, missed the boat. Should have jumped in that plus 5.5 when I had the chance. Hesitated, and it is gone. So at this point, this is going to be another stay away from me. Just a game I want to watch and I want to enjoy. I want to see Charles Huff in his first year at Memphis. 3rd straight team, 3 years, 3 new teams. Goes from Marshall, 1 and done at Southern Miss, now to Memphis. This guy's won wherever he's gone. Choosing between 2 quarterbacks. I believe what I'm hearing is it's going to be Marcus Stokes, which is the West Florida transfer, over Aaron Nolan, former Buckeye, highly touted recruit out of Ohio State, transferred to South Carolina, sat behind Lenore Sellers last year. And it sounds like he's getting beat out by this FCS West Florida transfer, Marcus Stokes. Put up numbers at West Florida, which is super interesting. Let's just show maybe, yeah. I mean, if Aaron Nolan can't come to Memphis and win the job as a former 5-star recruit, this guy might be toast. But Charles Huff's always done pretty well as a road dog. Last year, not so much. Last year, 1-3-1 ATS on the road at Southern Miss. 8-4 as a road dog at Marshall, though. And Dan Mullen, second season. He's also got a little bit of QB battle here. Lost Anthony Calandry to Nebraska, Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, and brought in another 5-star, Jackson Arnold. Both these teams got 5 stars battling for the starting quarterback spot. He's battling with Alex Orji. I'm a firm believer that Orji might get a couple plays, but this is Jackson Arnold's team. Went from Oklahoma to Auburn. Couldn't really get it done. Hasn't really progressed into the player he was expected to be coming out of high school. But hey, maybe playing in the Mountain West under Dan Mullen, maybe this will help him out here, and he can lead this team to another winning season and potential playoff berth. And really, this game, what excites me about this game, man, this is a college football playoff elimination game. Week 0. I think the loser of this game is going to have a major uphill battle to try to make the playoff. Outside of potentially winning out the rest of your games and winning your conference championship, like you lose this game, lose an early G6 game, you're most likely done. I think UNLV pulls this out at home. Going to have the more experienced quarterback, more experienced head coach. Dan Mullen had a few stints in the SEC. After taking a few years off, came out to UNLV. 10-win season last year. Runner-up in the Mountain West, losing to Boise State. But it's going to be a fun one. Behind Boise State, the UNLV has the shortest odds to make the playoff as the G6. And a lot of variance in this game with unsettled quarterback play. UNLV's defense, is it going to get better? I think if you look at the rosters overall, I think Memphis has the edge here. But once again, a lot of transfers coming in. Team has to gel in week 0 on the road against a very good UNLV team. Don't know which way this is going to go. I know it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be fun. One we're going to like to watch. Lean Memphis. Really anything above 3.5, I lean Memphis. Under 3 or better, got to go UNLV. Even money line UNLV. But that does it, folks. That is week 0. We went through all 8 games. We'll do that each week. Obviously, we're not going to go through every single game in week 1. We're going to go through the games we officially are betting at the time of recording, and then also any games that we're leaning towards, and just some high-profile matchups that we want to talk about. So we'll probably do 8 to 10 games, college a week, sprinkle in a few NFL games here and there that we're getting down on. But hey, we're back. Regular season mode. Next week, starting on Wednesday nights, it'll be the same episode throughout the season. We'll start with the recap, the good, the bad, the what the fuck. We'll go over what happened that was good, what happened that was bad, and then just the crazy shit that happens in college football over the weekend. Then we'll roll through our best bets and some spots we're looking at, some primetime games, big games coming up. Probably a preview, like I said, maybe 8 games, college football a week. And then, of course, we'll have our main event. We call it the main event, the showstopper, the say it with your chest, Stone Cold Thor's Hammer, nuclear whale play of the century. Every single week, just for fun. Hey, you can't have a podcast and not have a best bet, right? I love all my bets equally. I'm not a best bet kind of guy. But, hey, for the sake of the show, everyone wants to hear your best bets. So we're going to do it. We'll do it once again this year with the main event. And last but not least, as a reminder, hey, you can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok at NTSports22, just posting random stuff, mostly engaged on X for the most part. Love talking ball with the folks over on the X, on the old Twitter. You can watch the show on YouTube at NTSports22. As I mentioned, follow all of our bets. All of our action will be on the Action app. Follow us at NTSports22 to get all of our bets as we put them down in between episodes. And that's it, folks. Let's have a weekend. College football is back. Thank you again for listening. Until next week, cheers.